Okay. Oh, we here. Cause this thing is dang, we here. Cause the thing been acting crazy. Like I ain't been knowing what's been going on here. Okay, this is my first time going live on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here. Okay. This is my first time going live on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's watching. I don't know if anybody's here, but I'm here. Let me check some things around before I start talking. Let me check. 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 Okay. I see myself. Me. Okay. I think we good. All right. Well, we're gonna get this thing started. Well, welcome to my channel. This is Conversation with Keev. This is Messy Mondays, where we talk about everything pop culture, reality TV, entertainment, you name it, we talk about it here. You know? So welcome back. I have been going live on Facebook for a while, but I said let's let's change it up for a minute and go live on YouTube and see how things transpire over there. So we're gonna try it over here, and then we're gonna see how it goes from here. But um, this is where we talk about everything, like I said, everything pop culture, reality TV, entertainment, um, everything revolving that space. So yeah, so I've been talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we are currently on the second part of the reunion, and I have a lot of thoughts. Um, can we just say that this reunion, this season overall has been a lot when it comes to um, like the back and forth between like the cast at this point. Like we can say that the cast is divided per se, but the couches are not really divided per se at this point because even Shamia and K Michelle are kind of getting into it. And I don't like how Kelly and kind of Kelly is Kelly clearly is gonna blame the other couch for everything that's going on. Like because Kelly, how you going you literally are in the middle of it, but then you saying that you gonna blame the other couch for what Shamia and K Michelle is going through. Make that make sense, Kelly. Like what they gotta do with that? What they gotta do with what's going on between Shamia and K Michelle right now? That threw me off guard. What also threw me off guard is Pinky in this second part of this reunion. Pinky does Pinky's communication style is weird. Like she does this thing where she she was she has conversations where she doesn't like to she listens to respond and react instead of just listening to take in what the other person is saying. Like you could tell like when it came to her package and what they was talking about her, she was instantly ready to go into defense mode. Like she was instantly ready to like just ready to attack whatever the other women are saying. She was not hearing what the other women are saying. Even when Cynthia was trying to talk to Pinky and was trying to break it down, you know, from a perspective of like how it came from being on the show for so many years where she was like, "Well, I've been dealing with stuff like this, before being on this show, and I was a, I would have been a good pick for this show anyway because I'm a housewife." But it was like it got that it has literally nothing to do with that because we don't run we don't look at your bank account, we don't do this, we don't do that. So you saying all those things about what you have, what you don't have. Yes, that is a part of you being a housewife, but they don't look in your bank account to see what you have in your bank account. They don't do that. So it's like you gotta pick a struggle. I mean, you gotta pick a struggle, niece. When Pinky, you gotta pick a struggle. Like you can't. I don't know. We'll get into it. We'll get into it what I because when her and Phaedra was having that back and forth, it was like that. It was like hard to get through to Pinky because like I said, Pinky she does this thing where she doesn't listen to take in what the other person is saying. She just listens to react and attack. Like she just attack or like be ready to attack back whatever the other person is saying. And like you don't get nowhere with nobody trying to have a conversation with nobody like that because it never gets nowhere. And it's so amazing to me how like she was so ready to like look past the fact that Kelly was the one that said that she ate meat, but wasn't willing to give Frazier an apology. Like she had so much smoke for Frazier, but she wasn't willing to give Frazier an apology. I'm like thinking, like you had got to a point in the season where you had kind of like, was like, okay, Pinky, you you had kind of made your way in, into this show, but now it's just like I'm looking at you sideways, Pinky, because it's like you just you. And I hate to call the woman the B word, but that's what you giving off. Like you giving off real, yeah. You giving out that you giving real like that. Like you got a real bad attitude. And I hate to say that about our sisters, you know what I'm saying? But it's just that like hard to deal with, hard to get along with. And I guess a woman like her that has built this brand that has like so much power and so much success, like she feels like she's allowed to boast and brag because she has worked so hard for it. And nobody's saying that you can't, but you're gonna be filing for bankruptcy. Um, you can't be. I'm not saying you can't, but you you can't be you can't be talking about other people's struggles and then be filing for bankruptcy too. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, niece. And then the whole Shamia and K Michelle of it all, that's a whole hot mess. But we're gonna get into it. So the reunion started with who said that? Is Damon one of the voices in K Michelle's head? I think so. Is David one of the voices in K Michelle's head? I think so. Because K Michelle got a lot of voices in her head. And apparently, and you know what's so funny in this second part of this reunion? K Michelle barely had two words to say. I think the only time K Michelle said anything was when she spoke up on Pickett's behalf when she was saying how much, Pickett has been emotional about the whole bankruptcy thing. And of course, when they first started, when her and Shamia was going back and forth. But other than that, K Michelle, I mean, I guess because she said so much during the first part between her and Portia, like this part, she really didn't have too much to say. But I don't know. But yeah, K Michelle definitely got a lot of voices in her head. I mean, that's that's what I'm saying. But they start this reunion off, bringing Cynthia out. Cynthia looking good from head to toe. Mother looks good. And I know a lot of people they was, complaining about Cynthia's look from the picture that they initially posted on Bravo. Bravo, y'all did that's wrong. Because y'all didn't give her no justice because the picture that she posted on her Instagram, they looked way more better. But Cynthia's dress and her whole look it was it was done. And it was some type of homage to a designer that she worked with previously from New York when she first started like modeling. So it was a full circle moment. Yeah. Um yeah. So Pinky came not Pinky, Cynthia came out and she was asking Andy like, where did I miss? And Andy, basically got into it. Like, K Michelle is a gay man, Pinky's pregnant, Drew's divorced, and Phaedra and Portia both dated Mike. And that's 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 the update that Andy gave Cynthia. So then they get into the question. They get back into the question that Drew had about what was Shamia's intention on her telling Kay that her friends didn't want her to be friends with Kay. Um, and they get into the whole back and forth of it all about how that whole thing went down after they left Drew at that dinner and they got into it and the mom was there and all this and that. And Portia kind of interjected herself and said that she kind of found it to be manipulative of Shamia, um, to kind of be like putting that in Kay's head to be like, oh well, my friends don't want me to be friends friends with you, things like that. Being as though that her being friends with Kay had nothing to do with the other friend group that she was in. So, and I kind of agree with that because if you friends with Kay, you can get to know Kay without letting other your other friend group influence you per se, not per se. Another example of Shamia being a lap dog because she let people influence her and tell her like influence her decisions and how she move about doing things. Tell me I'm lying. The proof is in the pudding, time and time again. So Portia was just saying that she thinks it's manipulative of her to be doing that to Kay and things like that. Kay says that Shamia was asking her to be loyal to her. Kay says that Shamia tried tried to be her friend first. And then they go into the off camera event that happened. Kay said, that is funny to me. Kay said, Mr. Andy, this one went down. Not Mr. Andy Kay. Kay is Kay is hilarious when she wanna be. Kay said, Mr. Andy, this how it went down. And then Shamia started getting up. Lord, one thing about Shamia, she got to act out how the situation went down. Or she got to, you know, portray or, act out or do some type of cringy thing just to act out how something went down. Shamia said that Kay got in her face, and we didn't even know that Kelly was there until they said it. And it was like, well, Kelly, you tell us what went. Kelly, you tell us what happened since you was there. So now y'all just want to say that Kelly was there because we didn't even know that. So Kelly said that they had dinner and it had got heated. Things were said between the both of them that should have not been said, um, and things like that. Kay said that Shamia was constantly lying about certain things and that she didn't tell her. Um, Shamia was saying things that she didn't say that she had said, and that's why Shamia like no take that back. Kay said that she didn't um get in her face. She just kind of like hit down at the table. I said, "Oh Lord, we don't need another shake the table moment." But no, she said that she just sit down. She just kind of did like this at the table, and she said, "You gonna stop telling all these doing lies, and that." But according to Shamia, Kay got up and was like standing over her. I'm like, who believes Shamia at this point? Because you got caught in so many lies. It ain't even funny to this point. It ain't even funny. But Shamia said that Kay hopped up and started to act like she wanted to fight her. Kay said that, and then Shamia said, I mean, Kay said that that was not the case. She just put down the table and she just said that she was going to start telling all these lies. So it was just like two stories being plotted against each other, and that was it. So then Kay said that um also we we go back to Shamia mom because Kay said that her mom was there. Um Shamia said that she had to defend her mama because it was Kay was saying some things about her mama as far as the timing that they got there, the things that her mama had on, and things like that. And Kay said that uh well all that was true because your mom was in the hookah lounge. She had her breast pushed up to her, pushed up to her chin and all this and that. And she was calling somebody, Miss Diane was calling her daddy to do a job or something like that. And Kay said that Shamia's mom called Portia a Jezebel. And there we go. Shamia's mom called her dad on FaceTime while at the club or something like that. And Shamia, and there we go. We get another Shamia and Portia back and forth. There we go. They start going back and forth about the mamas once again. You're MF lie. You're MF lie. You that. You this. You this. You this. You this. Keep my name out your MF. Keep no. You keep my name out your MF. No, you keep my name out your MF. That's when Kelly, with her little midget self, interjected and she said that she wished that they would stop allowing the noise from the other couch to stop influence their relationship, something like that. And but I'm paraphrasing. I'm like, Kelly, that's so BS. Because how is the other couch influencing their relationship? And that was BS. And Andy is look, Andy is really clocking the other couch when it comes to um Shem, Kelly and Kay. I done seen him correct them twice in this reunion. It was first he told K Michelle to stop tweeting after every scene. And um now he done told Kelly to stop addressing the other couch and just talk to Shamia and Kelly. Okay? So yeah, and he tells Kelly to just speak to Shamia and Kay and leave the other couch out of. I said, ooh, Kelly, you better listen to your boss. When your boss say stuff, you better listen. Don't listen to your boss. Listen to your boss. Kay said that when they met, it was just them, and they were the only two that was getting into it, and nobody else. on the other sofa had anything to, to do with it. So we cleared that up. And then that's when Kelly and Angela started getting back into it. Kelly and Angela really got their foot on each other's neck. They started going back and forth about fraud. And Angela told Kelly, "Where you live at? Are you homeless? You frying chicken out of Shamia's house? Not fried chicken out of his house." Angela is the new shade of says, "I don't give a what I say." Frying chicken out of Shamia's house, and then I see, and y'all out here in these internet streets, y'all are so funny because y'all are not y'all put up a picture of Kelly frying chicken in front of Shamia's house. Y'all petty. Y'all petty. I just want y'all to know that y'all petty. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all. I'm telling you. And then Angela go back to you don't lost your restaurant. Not the one that Drew when they filmed it, but the other one. Kelly Kelly tells Angela, can you open up a business? And then she says, don't nobody have a brick and mortar on that other sofa? Kelly, you're quite delusional, babe. You're quite delusional, babe. And the only reason I would say that is because um um Phaedra has been an attorney for many of years. So she has like, you know, law firms, offices, buildings, things like that. So I don't know if all of them has built from the ground up, but some of them have, according to Phaedra. Um, but Kelly, that don't even lay in the same for you because even if you do have a brick and mortar business, you are them businesses are not doing well, man. Like Kelly, you gotta come better with the reads, like, and I can't say you out of the couch, out of your side of the couch, Kelly, you are the most vocal, but you just loud and you loud and wrong. Like you loud and wrong. Like you are holding it down for your couch, but you just the lot of stuff that you saying, it just loud and wrong. Like it's just not really landing because a lot of stuff that you saying, it could be thrown on back on you. Like Kelly, you will easy read like Sheree would. Because a lot of stuff that you be saying, it can be like thrown back on you like 10 times. That's why you have to watch what you say, like when you read somebody, because if you if you saying something that can be read back on you, then then they're gonna bring it back on you 10 times. See, I never read somebody or say something to somebody that I know that I could be read back about. Or maybe I would. But sometimes I wouldn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I call somebody as fat because I know I'm fat. So I don't mind it. But you can call me fat. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care because that's something that I know. So maybe that just maybe that's where Kelly coming from. She may be like, well, I'm gonna throw that. I'm gonna throw certain stuff out there about you because I already know that that's something that I'm dealing with. So maybe that's where Kelly coming from. I don't know. I don't know what Kelly thought process this is, but maybe she's just throwing out there because she know that it's something that she already dealing with. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's too much. It's too much. So then, dang, and it goes to Cynthia. He was like, "Hey, Cynthia, how you doing?" Cynthia just seen her in the middle of the mist. She was like, And it was like, "How are you and the prince doing?" She was like, "Good." And he asked her, "Are they, any wedding bells anytime soon?" She was like, "No." I love that for Cynthia. Cynthia, you ain't gotta get married again. Just enjoy the prince and everything that comes with him, and just enjoy being his partner. Y'all just enjoy good partnership, but don't get married to that man. It says you finna be 60. Ain't no need for you to get married to that man. You done been married 2 times and didn't work out. I know you said you getting married again, Cynthia. And she was like, "No, I'm with you, Cynthia. Don't get married again. Ain't no use. Mm-mm. Just enjoy being with him." Mm-mm. After Peter said she would never marry again. I'm like, right. No, I didn't go watch this. I didn't. You know what? I've been seeing clips of that Carlos King interview he did with that Carlos King interview that Peter did, and yeah, Peter effed up Cynthia for life. Like the fact that you expected her to um buy a property for you while you went to jail. Like Peter, Patricia, please, Patricia, please, like Patricia, exactly. Like man, please, like man, Peter, you so done. Your ex, why you wanted your ex-wife to buy a property for you? Why? In what world? And now you dated somebody like 20, 20, 30 years younger than you? Where your kids at? Why you couldn't ask them to do it? You ain't got no siblings that coulda did it for you? Like, no, but you know Cynthia making that bread. You know Cynthia is making money. Cynthia's on shows, she doing movies, she doing appearances, she got these businesses. Like Cynthia is doing good, and you know that she making that money, and you trying to like capitalize off of her. And mind you, Peter went to jail last year. He went to jail last year, so this was the kind of conversation that he had, and I think he was more so mad because she she had agreed to do it, but what happened was she probably took the information back to her attorneys, and then they probably the information be like, "I don't think this is something you need to do." And then she eventually backed out. Okay, she had a right to do that. She a grown woman. Bye, Peter. Just bye. Bye, bye, bye. Goodbye, Peter. So we get into Pinky's package, and we immediately go into the whole bankruptcy of it all. So Pinky said that, at first, it was embarrassing for her at first to talk about the bankruptcy of it all, but she used it as a tool, and they immediately went to Phaedra. Excuse me, Phaedra said that she found it, interesting that Pinky said that she found it that she saw using bankruptcy as a tool. This what a conversation with Pinky and Phaedra kind of like turned. I didn't expect this to be coming. Um, because apparently it was some beef there between them. That I didn't expect this to be coming, but apparently this had been brewing. But I know when it comes to bankruptcy, a lot of people um I don't I know some people that have filed bankruptcy. I know a lot of people think that that's just a rich people's problem, but it's really not. I know a lot of people in my and I know a lot of people that has filed, filed for bankruptcy, and it's not just a rich people thing. Um, I know people that have did it in my personal life. So it's not just a rich people thing. It's anybody can do it. Anybody can file for bankruptcy. Um, but it's looked at as a negative thing. But it's something to help you get your orders back in track when it comes to your finances and, and things like that. But it's something that you don't want to keep doing. It's something that you don't want to glorify. It's something that you don't want to, you know, it's something that you don't want to keep doing. It's something that you don't want to put out there there's something that you don't want to keep doing because it's something that that we as black people um we don't really you know talk about the challenges that bankruptcy can have on us and things like that. And I know Pickett said that that if a white person files bankruptcy, nobody says nothing. But then if a white person does it, then it's it's glorified. Really, I do agree that with her to some extent, but in her case, it's like Pinky. You got to pick a struggle. It's like you can't be filed for bankruptcy and then telling Angela that you can buy her foreclosed house because no, you can't because you filed for bankruptcy. So you can't be telling Angela that you can buy her foreclosed house when you filed for bankruptcy. Like, make it make sense. And then you can't be telling people that you wipe your ass with $90,000 when you file for bankruptcy. Like it's just that the attitude that turned people off to her in the beginning when she was saying all that, but you filed for bankruptcy. Like that's the whole thing. Like just girl Bill. And I know that we don't have to always we we don't have to be humble. If we got it and we don't work hard for our money, we should be able to celebrate it and 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 show off and celebrate and celebrate our money like we supposed to. But also, if we are in debt and if we got stuff that we should be taking care of, we also should be not not really on the other side uh, as well. Talking about how we wipe our ass with $90,000. Just saying, you got to pick a battle for the moment. But then once your orders get back in ready, okay, you want to wipe your ass with $90,000. That's cool. But after the bankruptcy get filed, but back Faith said that she found it interesting that she was using it as a tool. Said she had black investors that gave her $25 million. Pink said that it was not only black investors, it was white investors as well. Um, and she said, "Why does it matter the color of their race?" Brady said it doesn't really matter the color of their race. She was just making that a point as to that she had investors that invested in her company, and she making it they're losing their money basically because of the decisions or the people that she put in place to handle her business and things like that. Pickett told Fraser that it could have happened to you. Fraser said, "No, it couldn't. It could have happened to me because I'm self-funded." Pickett says, "Let me teach you about business." Fraser said, "You don't have to teach me about business because I've been in business for 20 years." Mm-hmm. Checkmate. Um, but Pickett said that you should Winston has some more cases, and and Fraser said all you do is brag. And then Fraser said, "Well, if I don't lost all the cases, how many did I lose?" And then Pickett bring up the whole Bobby Brown of it all. Pinky, that Bobby Brown breed is so tired. Um, I think Frazier dealt with Bobby Brown before she even got on Housewives. That was like early 2000s. So that read is so tired. Um, so Pinky, you got to come better with that because that was like pre Housewives when Frazier dealt with Bobby Brown, and that probably is one of her most notable cases. But she said she was with Bobby Brown with 8 years, and she said that Frazier said that if she was such a bad attorney, he could have replaced her, but he didn't. So I mean, hey, people say people always want to bring up Bobby Brown when it comes to Frazier because I guess that's the only notable case that people can cite that Frazier has. Um, but I mean, I've heard after watching the show for many years that Frazier has worked with a lot of clients. May not be a lot of celebrity clients, but she has worked with a lot of clients. When it comes to Atlanta, when it comes to like the Atlanta, the who's of of Atlanta. When it comes to like influential people, when it comes to like the pastors, we'll talk about that in a minute. When it comes to like pastors, when it comes to like people in politics, when it comes to like you know athletes, when it comes to like people influential people in Atlanta, it's like you might not know the people, or you might not see that side that she working with the people. But I mean, first you got the clientele. Um, we might not always see them, but Frazier got the clientele. The people say Frazier got a good um track record when it comes to her being a lawyer. So Pinkett says that every store that she has opened costs around $900,000, and she says nobody says nothing when a white person files for bankruptcy, but when she does it, it looks down upon. And I have to agree with that to a certain point because I mean, look at our leader of the free world. I mean, he has filed bankruptcy like how many times? I mean, he has really. He done filed bankruptcy plenty of times. I ain't here to talk about that. But he has filed bankruptcy plenty of times. He really has. Um, but first, everybody told her to pay her bills, and she is braggadocious. So pay your bills. But Pinkett said that her company didn't fail because she wasn't paying her bills. Her company failed because she had the wrong people in place that it wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Okay, girl. Um, I think I'm out of where I'm right, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Phaedra said no. Pinky. Phaedra called. Hold on. Phaedra. Phaedra called the higher ups on Pinky. I guess they were saying the higher ups, meaning the higher ups at Bravo. Yeah, and then um, Phaedra was like, and tell them why. And Pinky was like, I went back to. According, apparently, Pinky said something about having to protect herself with a particular guy. I'm thinking of Pop Pop. I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like, Pinky, you having to protect yourself from Phaedra with a Popeye? Where that come from? I'm confusion. I'm confusion. I'm really confusion right now. I'm really confusion right now. Cause where that came from? But Andy jumped in and said that. you know, he been knowing Phaedra for a long time, and if she would have had a problem with anybody or something like that, he would have she would have called you know anybody to let that be done, and she didn't. She did make the phone call, but it didn't go no further than what it was supposed to. I guess. Um, Anna said it does look hypocritical of Pinky because she's saying things like I said earlier about her could bind the foreclosure and things like that. Kay jumps in and saying that she has seen Pinky be hurt about her decisions of filing bankruptcy and the things that she has endured during this whole process, uh, during the whole process, and has been up with her through the night. She has cried about it and things like that. Kelly says that she commends her on how she has turned it around and has been made it a positive thing rather than making it a whole difficult. I mean, making it so negative and things like that. Okay, Kelly, we could really kill this. What you have to say? Portia tried to insert herself and tried to get to Pink, get through the Pink as well, but she wasn't really hearing nothing that Portia had to say. And then even Cynthia being the mother of the group, she says that she has been in the restaurant industry herself with her ex, Peter Thomas, Peter Scammon Thomas, and and says that it could come off confusing to the audience because sometimes it looks as though like, well, are you good? Are you not good? Um, do you have the means or do you don't have the means? And Pickett was like, oh no, Cindy also said that because the audience can have different opinions as to that, as to those different perceptions, that you just have to be ready for that. And Pinkett was like, oh, I don't care what people think. I've been dealing with this before I became, before I got on Housewives. I'm like, Pinky, why are you so defensive to what everybody's telling you right now? And that's why I said, like, she was like, she dealt with this before Housewives, and she wouldn't have got casted if she didn't qualify. Like, if she didn't, and it was like they don't check bank accounts. And that's when I wrote down. She definitely listens to respond and react and attack and not understand because they wasn't telling you like you don't make a good housewife. They were telling you that like you gotta like your your story wasn't matching your actions on the show. That's all they were saying. But she was just like, I don't care what people saying. And you should have that attitude. But they were just trying to get to you to try to help you understand like how how your perception could be landed on the show. And I know that you shouldn't care what the fans say and things like that, but I mean, that's part of your that's not part of your job, but part of your job is to be able to receive what the fans are are giving you and be able to, you know, take what the fans are saying and be able to receive it with love. And if you want to make changes to how do things in the next season, then that's up to you. If you don't, it's up to you as well. But it's all in love because they're just fans of the show. Like they're gonna have opinions, they're gonna have things they want to say and things they don't want to say. But Pink is she's just so defensive. I'm like, girl, hmm. So we continue on with Pink. She say Andy goes into her filing of her bankruptcy and said that she asked if she listed her home to be in in her she she listed her home in her filing of a bankruptcy, and she says that it's not her personal home; it's another home that she owns. And it says that that she listed in her filing that $6,000 a month is in her income. $6,000, but okay, but that was her personal income. Okay, and she pays like $80 a month in gas, and $300 in childcare, and she was just like, "Well, if you must know, those are my expenses." Like, okay, I'm like, "Girl, you get smart with your buy," and I ain't saying that she just have to buy down to Andy, but she was like, "If you must know," I'm like, this is literally the reunion, Pinky. You are going to be asked these type of questions when you are saying stuff on the show. So you are on a reality show. So if you can't handle being asked these questions about your life and things you are saying on the show, then you might need to get off the show. That's all I'm saying. Cause like if she was like really getting really smart, if you must know, I'm like, Pinky, I don't know. I don't know about next season, Pinky. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now we get to the question about Kelly, the one saying that she ate meat. Kelly laughingly saying that she apologized. And then Shamia also said that she apologized because Shamia said that when Frazier told her that she owned a Jamaican r- restaurant, she thought that Frazier said that she ate beef. Shamia, no, you didn't. You just a liar. Shamia, you lie. You lie so bad. You don't know how many lies you done told. Frazier did not say that girl ate meat. She said she owned a Jamaican restaurant. Just because somebody owns a Jamaican restaurant don't mean they eat meat. Her Frazier did not say she ate meat. Now Frazier followed back up and said that Pink has never apologized to her, and she been dragging her the whole season. She been praying for her years and saying that she was a corner corner something. I forgot what she said. And Pika said she's not going to apologize. I said, oh, and that's when I go back to what I said about Pika says that Frazier called the higher ups on her and things like that. Well, I mean, Frazier is connected. So I mean, if you telling, we could say a lot about Frazier because Frazier told one of the biggest lies on this show, and we still remember that to this day. But I don't really think that's really damaging. As far as saying somebody ate meat and they did and you didn't say it. But I guess Frazier just wanted her name clear because she didn't say it. But I don't think it's really damaging. That ain't as dangerous as what she said about Candy. Nah, Frazier. You want to clear your name up about not saying that you ate that girl ate meat, but that ain't as damaging about what you said about Candy. Nah, nah. But I digress. Um, but they agree that they are good and they can move on. And Pika said that they done paid that Pika that Phaedra has paid her, things like that, and they are good. They have no issues. But it was the first time that they got at a reunion and talked about everything that has happened, after the season or whatever, because that's what they do. That's the whole purpose of of the reunion. Andy asked um pick a question on why Derek wasn't the first one to know about the bankruptcy, and Pika says that she had creditors that were coming after her personally, and she had to deal with that on her own, basically. He also asked her about the project with Turi not in, and they said, and she said that they just got picked up with. a major network. So congratulations. Y'all think it's gonna be Peacock or Tubi? She said major. It can't be Tubi if it's major. I'm thinking if it's major, hmm, maybe Netflix. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Then they go into the whole thing about Drew not auditioning, and people say that Drew called her series an indie series. Uh, I guess like a low budget production. Um, Drew basically said that Pinky didn't follow protocol as far as sending everything over to her management and things like that in a timely manner. Um, and and if she would have auditioned, but she did show up as a supporter. And not Kelly, Shade, and Drew on making Tubi movies. I said, Kelly, at least Drew's Tubi movies is making money. Hello, hello, somebody. At least Drew's Tubi's movies is making money. And Kelly, this what I be saying about you. When you be making these little side comments about other people, you be having way more bigger fish to fry. Because while you talk about Drew making Tubi movies, you owe that man, what his name is, Gary. You owe that man m- money, like $87,000 right now, because he own you a lot. He loaned you a loan for your business, and you failed to pay him back. So Kelly, why are you shading Drew for making Tubi movies, and you currently owe somebody right now? At least Drew is making money. You owe so many people right now, Kelly. Like Kelly, Kelly, you an easy read though. You be having so much smoke for everybody, like Kelly, and your doorstep ain't nowhere near clean. Like I just don't get it. Like somebody like Kelly that like has so many has so much stuff going on. She has so much smoke for everybody else. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. So then they get into the whole Angela George Shamia Ashley of it all. And Andy asked Angela how she knew George. And of course, Angela said because that's her neighbor. He asked Shamia how she knew George, and she said because she knows George because she does team building, um, exercises with her friend who's a therapist for his law firm and things like that. And he has also donated to her nonprofit called Shamia Care, something like that. Shamia Share, Shamia Care, something like that. So then Angela and Shamia started going back and forth about whether or not Shamia said that Shamia F. Charge. F. Char- George. No, what, not Charles. I want to take that back. Angela said that she never said that she F. George. She just asked, did she? They run the tape back, and Angela never said that she F. George. She just asked her at the table if she F. George. And that was it. They keep going back and forth. Kelly jumps in, and Kelly, I guess Kelly said that if every time Angela is going get having it out with Shamir, you're gonna jump in because Angela and Shamir can't have a back and forth without you jumping in. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So Angela Kelly, they going back and forth, and Angela was like, "Well, when you get a husband, you'll understand." Kelly was like, "Well, I had one for 11 years, and I didn't have to get pregnant to have one. What? Angela said, "My husband puts me in his rooms. Yours puts you in the courtrooms." Angela for the win, baby. Angela eat the girls up every time. Every time. Every time. She was like, "We're not the same." Angela then goes on to say that out of all the girls, when she first came into the friend group last year, she tried to genuinely build a relationship with Shamia first. She said that her and Shamia hung out in NASA, and they did other things together. But then she said that when they this year when they was at they was at and that was at Kelly's event or some event. They was with it was her, Shamia, Kelly, no, her, Shamia, Kay, and somebody else. And she said that Shamia basically called her missing, and they were basically saying that Shamia was the reason that they tried that Esther broke up her and Portia's relationship. And then they go into the whole thing of why was I think Pinky asked that question of how was she able to forgive Portia for what she said about she should have charged something like that. Angela said that she was able to forgive Portia because and then also said that she was also saying shady things about Portia in her confession this year. She said that she had would no first she said that she gonna say shady stuff in her confession because that's her time to get it out. But it wasn't like too deep to where it was like she was like breathing Portia down to the floor. I guess you could say. She said that she has forgiven Portia, but because they did it last year, and then she never heard Portia again say anything about Charles, and she said that the issue with the other ladies is that when she thought that she was moving on, that that she wasn't because it was always her husband would be always brought up again. And of course, they bring up the cease and desist that she received from Shamia. Shamia says that it's a double standard when it comes to the group, and Portia says that Shamia was saying stuff about Charles last year when they was by the pool. I can't remember what it was last year when they was at their pool. Were they in Nashville or were they in Grenada? I think it was in Nashville. I can't remember. But Portia said that Shamia was saying stuff about Charles last year when they was by that pool about how many women he had, all this and that. Baby, Portia landed real. Standing real. And to see that why when you fall out with your friend, when you fall out with your friend, that's why I say when you fall out with a friend like this that you done had over so many years, it's all off. It's just off limit. That's why they say it's real. Cause everything be off, off, off limits. Cause everything can be told if it really goes there. If it really goes there, like really. So Shamina basically apologized and said that if she ever said anything about that you know about Charles and things like that in that matter, then she apologized and she wouldn't do it again. And she apologized too, but she just said that she didn't want her husband to be brought up again. I think we get back into Portia and Kelly and the whole man thing of it all. Portia says that the proof that she had that Kelly slept with a married man, the pastor, who per se, is that she read a text from a friend's phone, and that was the proof that she had. She said the proof is me. Portia basically was getting her lit back after, after, after Kelly made comments about her sleeping with married men last year. And then Portia has taken a lie detector test and got the results back today. And it says that Portia basically passed it out the lie detector test. Um, and Drew was there the witness. Now it did kind of this kind of did look like that Andy or I don't know. This lie detector test thing was kind of no. It didn't. It's not really gonna stick because because the lie detector test it was filmed. It was filmed separately. It was filmed by somebody that either Portia chose or I don't know if production chose it or Portia chose, and it was filmed separately. So, but it was filmed separately, and the results came today. Now, what would have made it a little more credible if they would have filmed it, um, maybe not doing a reunion, but would have filmed it like separately and like I don't know, maybe like just allow Kelly to witness it or something like that. I don't know if they would have did that, but this I don't know. But it just seemed like it's not it's just didn't seem credible to me. But hey, Andy said that she passed it, but I think that's just Andy protecting one of his face. It's just called a thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people say that, and I'm the one that said it. They're just Andy protecting one of his face. You know, and then what it is. Is it bias? Yes. That's just where the game go. Ain't nothing we can do about it. I mean, honestly. But he asked Frazier about would it be admissible in court, and he was like, not really, because it depends on it depends on the I guess it depends on the factors behind the lie detector test and the credibility of what are the questions being asked and the setting and things like that. Um, and then they get back to the past of it all. Uh, Kelly, and it said that Kelly made a post asking fans to stop DMing her about pastor that she follows. I know stop DMing pastors that she follows, and she named one of them as in Jamal Bryant. Kelly, why are you name dropping? That just make you look a little more guilty. Because she said Jamal Bryant did that 10-year viral renewal with her and the ex-husband. You name drop one a pastor, a well-known pastor in Atlanta did your viral renewal. Kelly, that make you look even more. That make you look a little guilty. I ain't gonna lie. So Kelly asked Frazier a question. Why would you protect the identity of a married man? Frazier, Frazier says that she never brought it up because her and her client have a good relationship. Kelly said that she's also her client and she would have thought her as a friend would have at least brought it to her attention. First of all, Kelly, you barely her client because you getting free services. So Kelly, you and Phaedra barely have a Blake client relationship because you are getting free services. Phaedra is not charging you. So you barely a client. You barely getting consultations at this point. So why would you feel like Phaedra should give you any type of like why should she give you any type of that? Yeah. I don't get it. So then Kelly names a name and they bleep it. You gotta bleep. I'm gonna just do this. She just named a name and they just keep bleeping the name. I'm like, who was the name? Can we hear the name? Even on the Peacock version, they didn't reveal the name because usually on the Peacock version that I watched, they it don't be they show the cursing and all, but on the name part, they bleep that out. So Killer names the name to Portia. They mean like, so you talking about him talking about I believe Portia asked her, oh no, name the married man. And then he go, Kelly, name dropping again. Kelly says that Claudia Jordan said on the podcast with Carlos King that Portia that Kelly can really pipe it up with Portia because they both dated the same person. And Portia was like, "That's not a secret," because she said it in an interview, and then Kelly was like, "No, but you said it after that." Okay, we just playing semantics here at this point. Shamir was like, "Why are we naming the married man?" Portia was like, Why don't you hush before we talk about who you are with BT Weekend?" Shamir, who you was with BT? At this point, we just throwing out a lot of stuff and we not really getting no name. So we not really getting nowhere. So we need names. Name 'em. Name it. Claim it. It's okay. Not gonna do that. But I'm just saying, like, we just throwing out a lot of stuff and not even no name. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need names. We need a name. We need a name. We need a name. So Andy asked, where does Kelly and Portia go from here? And Portia said, to hell. Well, I guess so. Ain't nowhere else to go from now. Like Virgil said, hell is high. It really, yeah, I imagine so. Mm. That's it. I think that best wrap, yeah, that basically wraps it up. Next time, the final part of the reunion, Andy questions Angela why did she pressure Amari to tell her siblings about her relationship with her wife. That's gonna be a good question because I've seen a lot of people on social media, questioning about that. Um, about why they felt as though it was Angela's daughter's responsibility to tell her siblings about her relationship. You know, and I mean the son was right there in the other room when they was talking about it. So, and she was like, all they knew of the son, I mean, all they knew of the wife to be her best friend. But I'm sure they knew that the friend was more than that. I mean, kids are not crazy these days, but I don't know. I don't know. Mm. I feel like both of them probably could have told them. The moment it probably could have been a combination between Angela and her, like a joint conversation. Yeah, I think so. Like a joint conversation. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I don't know, but everybody different in their households and how they want to portray information like that to their kids. So we who are we to judge? But like I said, kids they know everything these days. It's 2026, so um, I just think that they shouldn't be hearing the information from anywhere else. I mean, at this point, y'all are on reality TV, and I'm sure they got kids or somebody in their family that are watching the show or on social media. So I'm pretty sure they not heard it by now. So They they don't they know by now. And then we got a back and forth between Shamia and Portia. Shamia brings text alleging Portia never wanted her or Kay to be a part of the friend group. We're gonna see how this pan out because we. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna land. We're gonna see though because and if they have the reunion gonna conclude, they got to give us something more than that because we got to give us something more than that because we gotta give us something more than that. But I mean, as far as the back in the reads though, they was reading each other first. They was reading each other. They was reading each other. But I mean, nothing really nothing really exciting came out in this second part. I mean, he kind of gave us more insight. I think the most exciting, not really the most exciting. I think the most interesting conversation was between Portia and not Portia, um, Pinky and Phaedra. Because even though they had that back and forth, they kind of like came to like a resolution or a come to Jesus in the end. Um, between Kelly and they, Angela and Kelly, they just kept it the whole time. Portia and Shamia, they ain't gonna never stop going back and forth. This is, if I had to get an MVP to the second part of the reunion, no, I wouldn't be. I would say if it was the left couch, I'd probably say Angela. The right couch, I'd probably say Kelly. Yeah, because like the right couch, people are saying that Kelly is holding her own, and I can't say she is, but it seems like that she's just like a little irritated mouth. Like every time something comes up about Shamia, she jumps right in, jumps right in, jumps right in, jumps right in, jumps right in. But it's not really hard to. It ain't hard to hold your own on that couch because think about it. Shamia, she can't read. Pinky, she can't read. Kay, she can't read. Kay be throwing out them little elementary reads that don't land at all. Kay can't read it anyway. So Kelly, she Kelly throw out like little insults. Like as far as like she 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 said something pushed about her lady parts. I can't remember what she said, but she said something about that was like a slight dig. Um, but she be throwing out little stuff like the Frida. I can't even pronounce it. The Frida cheated Frito like Cheetos comment and things like that. And but it's just like the little stuff like that. It be corny though. It really don't be landing like that though. But the whole back and forth thing, it was just like well, Angela the whole time. Man, I get this second part reunion. It was like a good a good eight. A good eight. Nothing exciting really excited me, but I was watching it like this, tuned in, trying to keep up. Like everybody was like da 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 da. Going back and forth the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like da da. It'd be hard to keep up, especially when they be like doing all that. But yeah, I think I like this format on YouTube. I'm going to get. I'm going to start going live here more on YouTube. Um, I'm gonna get my followers up on here. So if you all see this on here, please follow me on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share the live with your people and everybody that you know, your mama, your grandma, your aunties, yeah, everybody that watch pop culture and reality TV. And I guess when Housewives stop, we'll be doing everything pop culture, reality. Well, we'll be doing pop culture and more reality TV entertainment, and I'll be doing some more, you know, educational stuff as well, as far as politics and things like that. We don't be we ain't gonna just do pop culture and all that stuff all the time. We'll do some educational stuff as well sometimes. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight. Hope you all have a good rest of the night, a blessed, a blessed week, a a good rest of the week, and I'll see you all next time in the next one. Okay, we're gonna continue to work on this live thing of it all. You know, so I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Bye. Yeah,